CaribJet, the most experienced travel agency company in Grenada, serving our clients and businesses for over 40 years. IATA accredited, we issue tickets on 280 airlines, representatives for Condor, the German airlines, and main agents for Virgin, KLM and Air France. We're specialists to the Middle East. Walk in to our ticket office at Morris Bishop Highway, call 439-4444, WhatsApp 534-7755 or visit caribjet.com.
It's the Quartz Optical Annual Frame Event. Get up to 85% off on selected frames. Book your appointment at www.quartzoptical.com. Get that frame today with no cash from 3 to 24-month credit plans. You don't want to miss it. The Annual Frame Event, up to 85% off, only at Quartz Optical. See in store for details. Quartz Optical, value you can see.
Hello and welcome to the MTV Evening News for Friday, the 10th of March. Coming up this evening, government begins 100% concessions for creative practitioners. That's to help boost the economy. Government minister believes much more should be done meanwhile to assist agro-processors. A joint initiative between SIEP and the UNDP exposes extension officers to gully plugging session. That's at Ludba Mirobo. And in sport, Maine University football scouting program begins in Grenada. We'll have details to those and other stories coming up for you. A look too at the public forecast information. It'll all be right after the break. Do stay with us.
Easter is coming, and that means it's time to do some spring cleaning. It's time to upgrade and refresh your home today and save up to 30% off store-wide. Change off that old lounge chair, dining room table, or any furniture item now and save big. Plus, shop our large selection of appliances, televisions, and electronics for the biggest deals. No cash, no problem. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance and pay $0 for 30 days. And before you check out, don't forget to add extended warranty with our Quartz Super Shield product, which will protect your purchase for up to 4 years. This offer is available online at shopquartz.com for a limited time only. Act now before the deals are gone. Conditions apply. Quartz, bringing value home.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News comes to you compliment Nexa Credit Union. With you wherever your road leads.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever you road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Nexa, 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 right next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Good evening, I'm Tony Julian with the details. The Deacon Mitchell-led administration is seeking to make well on its promise to help boost the country's creative industry, as they believe this is a thriving one. And as part of this drive, the government has launched a new incentive targeting registered creative practitioners and organizations, giving them 100% concession on common external tariff and value-added tax for items considered tools of trade. Our news team spoke with Orlando Romaine, advisor to the Minister of Economic Development and Planning with responsibility for ICT and the creative economy, who gave more insight into this incentive.
As our first March, registered creative practitioners will have the opportunity to obtain 100% duty-free concession on CET and VAT for items they import into the country that we could classify as tools of trade. And this concession will run until the end of December, and then will be reviewed as to ascertain whether we continue it.
Orlando Romaine, advisor to the Minister of Economic Development and Planning with responsibility for ICT and the creative economy, speaking about one of the government's newest initiatives on their drive to boost the creative economy. Romaine explained who this concession is available to and how they can apply.
The concession is available to registered creative businesses and practitioners, registered creative organizations, and registered creative projects. To apply for the concession, you must be a registered creative, which means you have to go onto our website, which is www.creativeaffairs.gd, and fill out a simple form. We will then validate your information that you are actually someone who is actively practicing within the particular space, and then you would have access to log into a portal to apply for concessions.
According to him, it is their hope that this incentive can help creatives to improve the quality of their output.
Our government believes that the creative industries is one in which offers significant economic potential, and so we have taken various moves to ensure we can strengthen that particular sector and build a vibrant, enabling environment that would allow our creative practitioners, creative businesses to thrive in that sector. We hope that these concessions will certainly allow our creative practitioners to increase the quality of their output and become more price competitive so that they can compete on the international and regional stage.
Although the incentive commenced on March 1st, 2023, Romaine told our news desk that there appears to be a growing interest.
So far, we've had overwhelming responses. We have, within the first couple of days, at least 50 plus applicants. So we expect that this will certainly drive a lot of activity in the sector, and we hope to see the outputs of it at the end of the day.
Reporting for MTV News, I am Donella Houston.
Minister for ICT and the Creative Economy and Agriculture and Lands, Lennox Andrews, said that he was quite impressed with the quality of products seen at the International Women's Day Expo, and that more effort needs to be placed by the government to assist agro-processors. We get more on this from Donella Houston.
The International Women's Day 2023 Expo, which was held at the Grenada Trade Center Annex on March 8th, caught the attention of Minister for ICT and the Creative Economy, Agriculture and Lands, Honorable Lennox Andrews, who spoke to the media, saying that he was quite impressed with the quality of goods and products he saw on display. According to Minister Andrews, the day's events strengthened the government's plans to seek to provide further assistance to agro-processors and find market spaces both locally and abroad.
We have agreed as a government that our embassies abroad must begin to play an economic role. They must not be just playing the diplomatic role that they play, but they must be able to use their position to find markets, external markets for our products wherever they are. Good? And our intention is to have the appropriate human resource, maybe something like an economic advisor or some kind of somebody who knows about marketing, stationed in those embassies abroad, whose fundamental role is to find a market for our locally produced goods and services.
The minister noted that in conversations with many of the producers and vendors, some of their biggest challenges involve getting their products out.
Having spoken to one of them, they are saying to me that one of the major problems is that they are operating from home. They don't have an outlet. And when they go to the supermarkets, they are saying to them that they don't have shelves for their products. Good? So these are the kind of things that I think as a ministry that we have to address. So I mean, for me, it's a real shame that we have not been able to have a record of all of these people and put a plan in place to assist them in the production, to reduce the cost of production, to increase their quality, and of course, to help them in the marketing of the product.
Minister Andrews went on to say that he was quite impressed with what he described as high-quality products.
What I've seen here today is a wonderful display of high-quality agro-processed products. They're ready to go for the external market. They are comparable, and they can compete with what I see there. Because if I compare them with what we bring in, they in fact are far better than what I see we bring in from Trinidad, for example.
Reporting for MTV News, I am Donella Hostin.
President of the Grenada Association of Poultry Producers, Kim Mohadir, spoke to MTV News on Wednesday on the impact of Grenada Chicken Farm Project in Felix Park, St. David, on smaller poultry farmers. The poultry farm, soon to be operational, will have the capacity to produce poultry products on a significantly larger scale than most farms combined. And according to reports, the operations of the farm will include hatching of eggs, processing and packaging of ready-to-cook chicken, as well as feed for local farmers. Although Chief Veterinary and Livestock Officer Dr. Kimon Cummings, during a recent site visit with the Minister of Agriculture, Senator Adrian Thomas, sought to quell the concerns of the small poultry farmers, citing that no one will be left behind, Dr. Mohadir did say that the manager of the farm, Karen Crossdale, is yet to engage the association, which consists of smaller producers, which have been consistently supplying the local market.
I would like to remind everyone that it is the smaller poultry producers that has kept the industry going, that Grenada can say they have a poultry industry. Concerning his interaction, he has not engaged GAPP or the Poultry Association on any formal level. We do not know exactly what is it he will be doing and on what scale. And this is something that needs to be taken into consideration, that anything that is affecting the poultry farmers or will affect the poultry farmers, that should go through the official organization GAPP.
Although they await an official invitation to tour the facility, she welcomes the addition along with its ability to supplement the local market.
Because if you start engaging farmers on an individual basis, well, that seems to be like conquer and divide. But as I said, I do not know much about the gentleman. I do not know what the scale of his operation is because we were never invited to visit or have any sort of sit-down formal interaction with him. But given the state that the poultry industry is in, it would be good if someone can come and boost the productivity, and I wish him all the best. But let us deal on a professional basis. Let us deal with, because even when the farmers come to me, I tell them the same thing, right? You have to make your decisions. You support your organization will be able to support you.
According to reports, the testing phase of the farm is expected to begin in April, and its manager, Karen Crossdale, says the entire production will create close to 100 jobs and will be the supporting infrastructure for the poultry industry. The Rastafarian community continues its sensitization on the importance of marijuana in the economy. Michael Batiste, also known as Bongo Chucky from Shantimel, St. Patrick, elaborated on the Rastafarian community's upcoming plans, including an engagement with Carriacou and Petit Martinique.
From the ROC, Rastafari Organization for Centralization, Lamont St. Patrick's, the Unique Brothers. We here today sensitizing the public of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique on the importance of marijuana in our economy, the green economy, the sustainable economy, the health-wise economy. As the government said, this year is the time of health and wellness. So that's a moment we're sharing with the people here today, this evening here in St. George's, a moment of health and wellness, We'll be here again this month. We're organizing to be in Carriacou. The next move, we're looking, the bigger move is in Carriacou. Carriacou and Petit Martinique, we're looking to generate some funds today so we could go to Carriacou and Petit Martinique in a one flash, to create that impact in the Tri-Island state, Yeah.
That's the first segment of news right here on MTV. We'll be back with more right after the break.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News came to you in association with Nexa Credit Union. With you wherever your road leads.
But when you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever your road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever your road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Nexa, 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 right next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Hello, Grenada. It's TGIF time again with the NLA. Thank goodness it's Friday. Every Friday in March, place 5 bets or more in a single ticket purchase on Cash 4, Pick 3 or Play Away. You automatically receive a Quick Pick inline ticket valued at $1. NLA is giving back more plays, more chances, more opportunities, and more prizes. Remember, when you play, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building. Promotion ends March 31st. You must be 18 years and over to participate.
Introducing the Grenlec mobile app. You can now get your bill balance and easily track energy usage for your home or business. Report and receive alerts about power outages. Plus, stay up to date by receiving the latest notifications. Yes, the Grenlec app keeps you connected anytime, anywhere. The Grenlec mobile app. Download for 24/7 access.
Pump It Up is back. Co-op Bank's Pump It Up Family Fun Walk will be back with a bang in 2023. Get ready to hit the road again for more fun, more smiles, more laughter, and lots of prizes. Join us in Carriacou on Sunday, March 26th at 4 p.m. as we pump it up from the Harveyvale playing field to the Hillsborough playing field. Then on Sunday, April 23rd at 4 p.m., we will make our way to the Grenada National Stadium from Montrouge playing field. Register today at any of our retail banking units with a minimum contribution of $10 to secure your package while stocks last. All contributions collected will go directly to the fund for the re-establishment of the Carlton Home. Come out in your numbers on the journey towards a healthy lifestyle and show your support for this worthy cause.
Welcome home. When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCour Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment. As you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest, visit or call LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
The second segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with the Communal Cooperative Credit Union Limited. To grow with us, save with us.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
Welcome back. A joint initiative between the Climate Smart Agriculture and Rural Enterprise Program, SIEP, and the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, has exposed extension officers of both the Ministry of Agriculture and SIEP itself to the construction of gully plugging.
Gully plugging is the blocking of gullies by stone or earth or vegetative barriers, which leads to the deposition of fertile sediments and organic matter and the collection of water during heavy rainfall events. Participants were taught to identify gullies that need check dams, determine the type of materials to be used for constructing check dams, determine the distance between check dams and the overall construction. The climate smart agriculture and sustainable landscape management techniques were demonstrated by SLM specialists with UNDP, Aidan Photo, at a farmers' holding at Ludborough, Maribor, St. Andrew on Tuesday.
The main objective of this exercise is how to really mitigate against gullies, the expansion of gullies. If gullies remain unattended, they would get wider and they would get deeper, and significant amount of soil would be lost. And now we implement check dams. And basically what check dam does is to reduce the velocity of the flow and hence reduce the erosive capacity of the water that is coming downhill.
CSA coordinator at SIAP, Kenley Edwards, explains that this helps in conserving topsoil needed for agricultural production.
This area here, it's very hilly. Most of the farming activities takes place on the slope, and if you do not have good land preparation, good drainage design to reduce on the water, which normally when you get heavy rainfall, washing away your soils, and we know the soil is important for the growth of crops. It is very important to have these type of initiatives, and it's a step in the right direction whereby we could implement such an initiative by showing farmers how we could reduce on the water velocity, and by doing so conserve on the soil that will be potentially lost.
The session was held on the farm of David Clark, who explains what takes place on his farm when there is heavy rainfall.
Well, heavy flow, as we say, you have erosion, the water will slide, as you see for yourself where you bring this gully, you understand? So that's what the rain do. As once rain falls, you must have a way to let out. Even though you put a barriers, rain is, the water is very powerful, as you know that, you understand? And stuff like that. We see it happening in the big wall, how water is very, powerful enough. So it could do a lot of damage, as we see.
For MTV News, Troy Gill.
The Grenada Institute for Theological Education, or GITE, is launching its third John Maxwell Advanced Leadership Program for pastors and church leaders at GITE headquarters, Jean Anglais, Belmont, St. George, on Saturday. John Maxwell is one of the world's leading best-selling leadership authors and coaches, and according to local facilitator and director at GITE, John Lewis, the 6-month course will be centered around one of his books, Leadership Gold.
We are doing our leadership course, Leadership Gold, by John Maxwell, and it's a 6-month program, and it will deal with different issues of leadership, different to what we did in the past. So we call this Advanced 3. It will examine some of the principles of personal development, because that's where it begins. And so we're inviting, it's open to the public as well.
He shared some additional information on what will transpire over the 6-month period.
So it's going to be starting on the 2nd Saturday in March. It's right here at GITE. It's one Saturday per month for 6 months, and it's a certified program where a person gets a certificate as a trainer of trainers. And just to mention, the cost for that is $300 per month per Saturday. Every day of training includes the material, and there's a notebook. The Leadership Gold, there's a cost for that, that's $60. But it includes lunch, includes refreshments, and it goes from about 8:30 till 3 p.m. on that particular Saturday.
Now, the course is not just for pastors and church leaders, but it's also open to the public, Lewis said, and leaders from all stratas of society. You're tuned in to the evening edition for Friday on MTV. And in this evening's Total Local, we feature Gospel Expressions, the Jade Reunion chapter that will be occurring on Saturday, the 11th of March at Camerhorn Park.
We understand the implications of COVID. We were kept in our space, we were able to go out and socialize much. But we thank God so much that things are open up now, and so and the gospel industry has decided to come out with this annual event. And so it's expected to be a real banger. We have a lot of local bands that are going to be there. Jade Reunion Band. Jade was on the scene for many years, and now they put back the old guys in, and a lot of the young guys are not there, so the old guys decided to come back in, and so they have a reunion of the old guys, so vintage gospel music will be on stream on that day. We have some local acts, Spice Worship, and Kevin Paul and Foundation Band. They will be there as well. And it's a great day. It's a day will be fun to the max. We have a lot of stuff available for family. We have bouncing castle, we have go-karts, we have horseback riding, face painting, solid bars await you, and it's absolutely free. So it is expected to be a really, really great day, you know, having fun in the Lord Jesus Christ.
Every time. It no matter the cost or the paycheck, can buy me over.
Well, at the end of the day, what I would think is, in all that's going on in the world, we have problems left, right, and center. And I still believe, I'm a firm believer that Jesus is the answer for all of the world's problems. You know, and the music that we'll be promoting is music of hope and of peace, you know, and redemption. So we just want to come out there and get that message, you know, just coming and just taking the whole atmosphere, the whole vibe will be positive, Christian, godly environment, family, fun, you know, and of course we have the big man from Trinidad and Tobago. You have the man himself, Mr. Positive, here with us, and I definitely he's gonna bring a presence, he's gonna bring a heat, he's gonna bring, you know, an anointing, a level of worship, a level of entertainment that will just be phenomenal.
Just being able to come and spread something that will be, you know, of a different nature, something that is more genuine, something that is more righteous, to be able to let that permeate the atmosphere is what I'm about. Making sure that, you know, the Lord and Savior who shed his blood for us is able to cause us to rise up and actually be the shining light so that the people around us could actually see his good works and give him praise.
That's the second segment of news. Regional highlights are next.
The second segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with the Communal Cooperative Credit Union Limited. To grow with us, save with us.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business.
For your education.
For your financial freedom.
For that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
Do you know, when you play the games of the National Lotteries Authority, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique?
Hi, I am Junior Murray, cricket coach, sports enthusiast, and a former West Indies cricketer. I endorse the games of the NLA 100%. For the past 40 years, the NLA has been funding many sporting activities, including competition for schools and clubs, and for athletes to participate in overseas tournaments such as the Carifta Games and regional cricket tournaments. Additionally, they made it possible for you, the public, to view local, regional, and international tournaments from the comfort of your homes. For those reasons, I play the game of the NLA. Even if I do not win, I know Grenada always wins.
Yes, when you play all the games, the NLA in turn supports sports, culture, and nation-building activities throughout the Tri-Island state.
Do you know you can lower your electricity bill by changing the way you do laundry? Front-loader washing machines are designed to reduce electricity and water consumption. When upgrading, buy with this in mind. You can also lower your electricity bill by doing full loads of laundry, using the sunlight to dry your clothes, and ironing in bulk. As an individual consumer, I cannot impact global fuel prices. However, I can ease the burden of rising fuel rates by changing the way I do laundry. What can you do?
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Easter is coming, and that means it's time to do some spring cleaning. It's time to upgrade and refresh your home today and save up to 30% off store-wide. Change off that old lounge chair, dining room table, or any furniture item now and save big. Plus, shop our large selection of appliances, televisions, and electronics for the biggest deals. No cash, no problem. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance and pay $0 for 30 days. And before you check out, don't forget to add extended warranty with our Quartz Super Shield product, which will protect your purchase for up to 4 years. This offer is available online at shopquartz.com for a limited time only. Act now before the deals are gone. Conditions apply. Quartz, bringing value home.
The third segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Get ready to witness the ultimate sporting spectacle at the Ariza National Athletics Championship 2023. This two-day event is taking place on March 11th and 12th at the Karani James Athletic Stadium with a jam-packed schedule of middle and long-distance races, sprint races, field and jump events. This is an event not to be missed. Come see Track Blazers, Ace, 473 MVP, Fusion, Rising Stars, Velocity, New Track Club, and schools will be competing to showcase their talent and vie for national supremacy. This is the final opportunity for athletes to qualify for the Carifta Games. Admission $20. Children under 12 can enjoy the excitement for just $10. Also, don't miss out on the big showdown in the senior men's 400 meters between Commonwealth semi-finalists Michael Francois, Adian Peters, Troy Mason, and Simile Felix. It's the Ariza National Athletics Championship, March 11th and 12th at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. Get your tickets now.
Welcome back as we join Clifton James for this evening's Regional Roundup.
Good evening with tonight's MTV Regional Roundup. I am Clifton James. Mexico has asked CARICOM to join its legal fight to hold US gun manufacturers and distributors responsible for the crime mayhem their weapons of destruction have been used to unleash in some countries, and Trinidad and Tobago is actively considering the request. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley indicated this last night at the People's National Movement's public meeting at Barataria's Community Centre. It was the PNM's first public meeting for 2023. On Mexico's request, Rowley said Trinidad and Tobago is actively considering that to test the legality of those who make those weapons of war that are destroying our societies. We have to join that fight. Rowley said he suspects the proposed legal battle, which will be undertaken in the US courts, is one of the things that will come out of the CARICOM Crime Symposium that will be held here in Trinidad and Tobago from April the 16th to the 17th. He noted that he is responsible for national security in the CARICOM quasi-cabinet format. If you ask me what I want out of this conference, over and above educating our population, I want CARICOM to speak as one voice to our major trading partner, our friend in the north, with one voice to say to them, America must do more to prevent guns from coming from America into our country. He said the Mexican government had already undertaken a similar legal fight before and lost in the US court, but is prepared to keep it up, but with other sovereign nations affected by the gun scourge, hence the request to CARICOM. Rowley also recognised the Director of Public Prosecution's recent complaints of things not going well and lack of staffing. He said government has found executive offices for the Director of Public Prosecution's division, but after 3 years there has not been a footstep inside the office and we're paying millions of dollars in rent. I don't want to use the words I want to use because that would be telling you too much, but you come and telling me an executive office for a bank is not good for the DTP office? Over in Jamaica, Livingston Kane, the juror accused of offering $500,000 to the foreman to influence other jurors to return a not guilty verdict in the murder trial against dancehall artiste Vybz Kartel, has been sentenced to 12 months imprisonment at hard labour. However, he is to spend 9 months in prison as he was remanded on December the 13th, 2022, after he was found guilty of attempting to perverting the course of justice, and that was added as time spent. The sentence was handed down by Parish Judge Maxine Ellis in the Kingston and St Andrew Parish Court on Thursday, after being postponed twice due to Kane's illness that had landed him in hospital. A social inquiry report, which was requested by the defence team and was not prepared, also stalled the sentencing. During the sentencing, Ellis spoke about the seriousness of the offence. Justice is a pillar on which any civilization is built. No one should be allowed to interfere with an investigation, the judge said. She added that she considers this charge to be a serious matter and of public interest. A sentencing hearing was held on Wednesday, at which time Kane's sister and daughter stood as character witnesses. They testified that Kane is a humble family man and a very good father. Kane was on bail for 8 years, however, it was revoked by Ellis on December the 13th. Kane is represented by defence attorney Valerie Nita Robertson Casey. Still in Jamaica, Matthew Hyde, University of the West Indies UWI student who was charged after he allegedly held his ex-girlfriend captive whilst he tortured her with a clothing iron for 3 days, has been further remanded until March the 17th. Hyde, 20, appeared in the Kingston and St Andrew Parish Court to answer to charges of assault occasioning grievous bodily harm, false imprisonment, malicious communication and assault occasioning bodily harm. Hyde's case file is said to be incomplete. Reports are that between Monday, February the 6th and Thursday, February the 9th, Hyde allegedly held his ex-girlfriend against her will in a room on a block of the George Lane Hall on the University of the West Indies Mona campus, where he repeatedly beat her and burnt her all over her body with a clothes iron. She was subsequently rescued and a report was made to the police. Hyde was arrested and charged. The UWI, in a statement on the matter last month, said that on February the 9th, campus security received information that a female student was being held in the room of another student. She was found to have suffered burns all over her body. Campus security immediately advised the campus police, along with the Mona police, who quickly responded, rescued the female student and handed over the accused to the Halfway Tree police station, where he was charged with assault occasioning grievous bodily harm, the UWI said. For MTV Regional Roundup, I am Clifton James.
This is the MTV Evening News. We'll be back with you after the break.
The third segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with Arise Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Get ready to witness the ultimate sporting spectacle at the Ariza National Athletics Championship 2023. This two-day event is taking place on March 11th and 12th at the Karani James Athletic Stadium with a jam-packed schedule of middle and long-distance races, sprint races, field and jump events. This is an event not to be missed. Come see Track Blazers, Ace, 473 MVP, Fusion, Rising Stars, Velocity, New Track Club and schools will be competing to showcase their talent and vie for national supremacy. This is the final opportunity for athletes to qualify for the Carifta Games. Admission $20. Children under 12 can enjoy the excitement for just $10. Also, don't miss out on the big showdown in the senior men's 400 meters between Commonwealth semi-finalists Michael Francois, Adian Peters, Troy Mason, and Simile Felix. It's the Ariza National Athletics Championship, March 11th and 12th at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. Get your tickets now.
You're watching the MTV Evening News. Sports is next.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Do you know, when you play the games of the National Lotteries Authority, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique?
Hi, I am Junior Murray, cricket coach, sports enthusiast, and a former West Indies cricketer. I endorse the games of the NLA 100%. For the past 40 years, the NLA has been funding many sporting activities, including competition for schools and clubs, and for athletes to participate in overseas tournaments such as the Carifta Games and the regional cricket tournaments. Additionally, they made it possible for you, the public, to view local, regional, and international tournaments from the comfort of your homes. For those reasons, I play the game of the NLA. Even if I do not win, I know Grenada always wins.
Yes, when you play all the games, the NLA in turn supports sports, culture, and nation-building activities throughout the Tri-Island state.
Get ready to witness the ultimate sporting spectacle at the Ariza National Athletics Championship 2023. This two-day event is taking place on March 11th and 12th at the Karani James Athletic Stadium with a jam-packed schedule of middle and long-distance races, sprint races, field and jump events. This is an event not to be missed. Come see Track Blazers, Ace, 473 MVP, Fusion, Rising Stars, Velocity, New Track Club and schools will be competing to showcase their talent and vie for national supremacy. This is the final opportunity for athletes to qualify for the Carifta Games. Admission $20. Children under 12 can enjoy the excitement for just $10. Also, don't miss out on the big showdown in the senior men's 400 meters between Commonwealth semi-finalists Michael Francois, Adian Peters, Troy Mason, and Simile Felix. It's the Ariza National Athletics Championship, March 11th and 12th at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. Get your tickets now.
Holy Natural Spring Water is a water for every occasion. On the field of sports, at your workplace, just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy Natural Spring Water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy Natural Spring Water, Grenada's purest bottled water.
Maine University football scouting program commences in Grenada. That highlight and more coming up in our sporting segment.
The MTV Evening Sports is brought to you in association with Quartz, bringing value home.
It's the Quartz Optical Annual Frame Event. Get up to 85% off on selected frames. Book your appointment at www.quartzoptical.com. Get that frame today with no cash from 3 to 24-month credit plans. You don't want to miss it. The Annual Frame Event. Up to 85% off. Only at Quartz Optical. See in store for details. Quartz Optical. Value you can see.
A special evening to you now, sporting fans. Here's Danella Hostin with your highlights.
Good evening, sporting fans. It was an exciting day on Thursday for the students of the J.W. Fletcher Catholic Secondary School as they showcased their athletic and creative skills at their 10th anniversary sports meet. Chairman of the sports committee is Glenn Alexander.
So we started with a torch run. We started from where the original school started, Granitown Road. Following the torch run, we had our opening ceremony, and of course, sticking to the Agile Small School Big Impact. The impact we had today was very positive with our students. We had a number of students. We have a number of records that was broken, and of course, you would have seen the match pass, and all in all, it was a great day for JW Fletcher. We're not sending any threat, but we will stick with our adage, small school, big impact, because come this intercall, definitely JW Fletcher will be in the medal counting.
Here are some highlights of the sports meet. Two coaches from the University of Maine Fort Kent arrived in Grenada on Thursday to start their scouting program for male and female footballers from Grenada. The scouting program takes place from March 11th to the 12th at Fair Playing Field. The scouting program is in collaboration with Uncle Gary Future Generation Foundation and Samuel's Soccer Scholarships. On Friday, the scouting team held a press conference at the GFA's Secretariat. Founder of Uncle Gary Future Generation Foundation is Alejandro Robert.
And at this time, we're pretty much here with the coaches from the University of Maine at Fort Kent. I'm also partnering up with Samuel Soccer Scholarship. That's not a non-profit by my coach here. The men's soccer will.
Head men's soccer coach of University of Maine, Fort Kent, and founder of Samuel Soccer Scholarships is Oniki Samuels.
We currently at the university have 3 guys from Grenada who are doing amazingly in the classroom and on the field. As what Alejandro mentioned, one of those players are currently the captain, right? So it's the fact that these guys, they came, they played well, they're starters on the team, and in the classroom, they're academia. So they're above a 3.0 GPA, getting the different academic awards, athletic award. Leon Braveboy, Kevin Maitland, Brady Charles, those are the 3 guys who are currently at the university.
Representing the Grenada Football Association is coach of the senior men's national team, Anthony Modeste.
First of all, I'd like to say hats off to the university for looking at Grenada, and hats off to the guys out there who have opened up the door for other players in Grenada. When one is given such opportunities, always a joy and a pleasure. We as parents may not be able to pay our child's education through the universities, and we are given the opportunity through scholarship which is a blessing. It's also an opportunity where our players can grow as a person and grow in the sport.
During an interview with the public relations officer of the Grenada Athletic Association, Kwame Hippolyte, he spoke to MTV Sports about upcoming events of the GAA.
We're looking forward to having the team represent Grenada at the Character Games. Character Games this year will be held in Bahamas and over the Easter weekend. We are looking forward to fielding a team that will represent us well, a team that will go there and give us a good medal haul. Right thereafter, we'll be looking forward to hosting the GA relays and then the Whitsuntide Games on the Whitsuntide weekend.
And that's it for this evening's sports. I am Donella Hostin.
Thank you, Donello, for the latest sporting highlights there. And viewers, will have the public forecast information coming up for you, along with a recap of the headlines when we return.
The MTV Evening Sports was brought to you in association with Quartz, bringing value home.
MTV Weather Report comes to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Need a quick, convenient way to pay your bills and avoid lines? Use the online banking feature from Republic Bank, First Caribbean, or Co-op Bank. Contact them today to set up your online banking and enjoy 24-hour convenience to make your bill payments. Stay safe. Grenlec, we are united even when we are apart.
Good Friday evening, viewers, and with Friday night and weekend's weather forecast, and meteorologist Wayne Williams. Cloudy conditions throughout most of the Eastern Caribbean today have brought some very cool conditions. We also saw some slackening of the winds. That surface trough that we have been following entered the northern part of the Caribbean, but as it did so, it encountered winds from the southwest, and together that interaction caused some weakening of that trough system. So it did not interfere with the weather as much in terms of rainfall as we were kind of anticipating. But those upper level winds would slacken, and there still is a possibility that we could see some showers from that weakening trough maybe during the weekend. The haze we have been following, that is dissipating also, so conditions should improve throughout the weekend. That haze also is drifting more to the south. We can see what's left of that trough system here over the Northern Islands, and as I said, there still is a possibility that it could produce some showers, but we're looking now at strong upper level winds here, which more or less keeping that system at bay and preventing any development at the moment. As a result, Friday night's forecast is expected to be cloudy. Cloudy conditions should dominate. There is a chance of 1 or 2 brief showers. Easterly winds on the light side, 5 to 10 miles per hour, could even be calm sometimes. Minimum temperature of 24. Moonrise is at 8:57 tonight, and moon is going to set tomorrow at 8:56 in the morning. On Saturday, look for partly cloudy conditions to continue with east-northeasterly winds blowing between 10 and 20 miles per hour. Moderate seas, 4 to 5 foot waves, sunrise at 6:16, sunset at 6:17. Temperature will climb to just around 30. The cloudiness would help keep it down that way. It will feel like 30. On Sunday, March 12th, easterly winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Moderate seas, still 4 to 5 foot waves. We're going to see, even though it will be partly cloudy, you're going to see fewer clouds around, however. Sunrise at 6:16 and sunset 6:17. Temperature will climb a wee bit higher. 31 will feel like 31. From Monday onwards, partly cloudy conditions through to the middle of the week, but then mostly fair conditions becoming mostly sunny towards the next weekend. As I said, the atmosphere is clearing of that dust haze, so we should be seeing lovely clear skies, especially from midweek into the next weekend. That's it for me for this week, folks. Have yourself a great night, a safe and an enjoyable weekend, and join me again on Monday.
MTV Weather Report was brought to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
And now to end the news, a recap of the main stories. Government has commenced a 100% concession for creative practitioners to help the economy. Government minister believes much more should be done to assist agro-processors. A joint initiative between SIEP and the UNDP has exposed extension officers to gully plugging sessions at Ludbar Mirabo. And in sport, Maine University football scouting program begins in Grenada. We've had details to those and other stories to look to at the public forecast information. So now, on behalf of the news and production departments, I'm Tony Julian. We all thank you for watching and wish you a safe and wonderful weekend.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Isaac Nathaniel Peters, also known as Ian of Tempe St. George, a well-known businessman in the community, passed away on Friday, 17th February, at the age of 92. He was the loving husband of Veronica Peters, father of Gail Peters of Tempe, Pamela Gordon in the USA, Clive Peters of Montrouge, and Ruby Holder in the UK, father-in-law of Robert Gordon in the USA, grandfather of Gail Peters, Olivia Durant, Warren Holder and Carl Holder, great-grandfather of Cleo and Renee, brother-in-law of Harry Harris, Edlin Peters, and Magrilia Alexander. Many nieces and nephews including Dr. Richard Nixon, Alston Peters, Vaughn Nixon, Stanley, Althea Charles, Yolan Samuel, Grisling Gordon, and Evelyn Pridham. Grand uncle of many in Grenada, the UK, Canada, and the USA. Many other close relatives and friends including Jeffrey Williams, Cicely Otway, Sarah Peters, Joel Peters and family, Kathleen Peters and family, the Japal family of Crowshoe, Melicia Japal Rodney, the Otway family in Canada and Grenada, Margaret Harris and family, Michael and Judy Dean, the Ogilvy family in the UK, members of the Gospel Hall Assemblies of Grenada, friends and neighbors of Tempe and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Isaac Nathaniel Peters, also known as Ian, a well-known businessman in the community of Tempe St. George, will take place on Monday, 13th March at 1 p.m. The funeral service will be held at the Garden of Remembrance Funeral Chapel, Cemetery Hill, St. George, according to Gospel Hall rites, and the entombment will be at the St. George's Center Cemetery. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Evadne Mary Gill Alexander, also known as Vads, of Spring Garden, Birchgrove, St. Andrew, passed away on Monday 20th February 2023 at the age of 71. Left to mourn are her siblings Wilma, Kenrick, Bernice, Roy, Perpetua, Cornelius, Francis and Joseph. Son Radon Gill. Daughter-in-law Sheena Gill. Granddaughters Angel and Shania Gill. Goddaughters Juliet Forrester Garraway, Diane Jeffrey and Alyssa David. Nieces and nephews Jane, Pat, Rodney, Morgan, Kelvin, Dolland, Mosley, Berna, Griffith, Rachel, Amanda, Hillary, Queen Annie, Michael, Sean, Joel, Shane and Erin. In-laws Marilyn, Carol, Yvette, Judy, Jimmy and Ron. Other relatives and friends including Saga, Dick, Gemma Joseph, Sharon Wilfred, Emmeline Pear, Dorabella McIntyre, Esther and family, Magis and family, Denise Berkeley and family, Annette Noel and family, Monica and family, Victor Renault and family, the Ventor family of Beaulieu, the Roberts family, Pastor George Fletcher and the congregation of the New Testament Church of God, Birchgrove, and neighbours and friends of Birchgrove, Bylands, Monkhorn and surrounding areas, and Willis. The funeral of the late Evadne Mary Gill Alexander, also known as Vads, of Spring Garden, Birchgrove, St. Andrew, will take place on Tuesday, 14th March at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the New Testament Church of God, Birchgrove, St. Andrew, and interment will be at the St. Rose Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Anthony Felix Scott, also known as Hero of Victoria St. Mark, who resided at Fontenoy, St. George, a well-known bus driver on route number 8, passed away on Saturday, 18 February 2023, at the age of 66. Left to mourn are his wife Nesta Ann Scott, mother Beryl Alexis in Trinidad, adopted mother Sheila Sanders in Canada, stepmother Catherine Scott, children Keisha Paul in Grenada, Fitzroy Phillip in Canada, and Zorina Cox in the USA. Adopted daughter Finda Phillip in Canada. Adopted son Sean Oliver. Grandchildren Blossom and Wana George in Grenada, and Zuriah in the USA, Sidora, Vienna, and Dario in Canada. Siblings Stephen, Yvonne, Ben, Ellen, Carol and Raphael in Grenada, Philip, Hilary, Miriam and Wendy in Trinidad, Owen, Yvette, Daphne, Evadine, Ina, Joseph, Eugene, Price and Winston in the USA. Caretaker Nurse Rowena Oliver. Aunt and Uncle Yvonne Bishop and Victor Scott. Nieces and nephews Siobhan, Shadell, Sabrina, Radon, Terrianne, Stefan, Hakeem, Raheem, Brady, Braden, Brandon, Brian, Paulinus, Andalin, Neva, and many others in Trinidad, Grenada, and the USA. Son-in-law Shale Langine. Brothers-in-law Gerald Roberts in Grenada and Sylvaus Roberts. Sister-in-law Esther Amedi. Cousin of many including Johnny Belfon, the Nicholas family, the Scott families of Grove and St. Patrick. Close friends Addington Nash in Trinidad, Dr. Lorene Frederick and family, and Miss Rita Moore and family. Other relatives and friends including Aldwin and Leslyn James, Joan Amede, Adani Johnson, Anika, Alana Francois, Alicia Amedi, Sarana, Joshua, members of Men in the Footsteps of Christ Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception, and neighbors and friends of Fontenoy, Cherry Hill, in Trinidad, England, and the USA. The funeral of the late Anthony Felix Scott, also known as Hero of Victoria St. Mark, who resided at Fontenoy, St. George, will take place on Wednesday, 15th March at 10:30 a.m. Funeral service will be held at the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception, Church Street, St. George's, and interment will be at the Coast Guard Cemetery, Victoria St. Mark. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Daphne Park, also known as Darling of Monjaloo, St. George, died on Tuesday, 24th January 2023, at the age of 92. Left to mourn two sisters Marjorie Nurse in the USA and Lillian Critchlow in Trinidad. 7 children: Carl Park in Nevis, James and Chris Park in Grenada, Albert and Paul Park in the USA, Matthew Park in the UK, and Mark Park in the Turks and Caicos Islands. 7 daughters-in-law: Janice, Sonia, Suzanne, Merrill, Sonia Green Park, June and Beverly. 14 grandchildren: Ernesto, Nadia, Dr. Krista Park, Jason, Najee, Kevin, Carl Jr., Jareen, Ashaki, Akel, Brianna, Cleo, Akia and Nia. 7 great-grandchildren: 4 sisters-in-law: Anne Lucas, Lady Judith Palmer, Joyce Park and Anthea Park. 2 brothers-in-law: Reginald and Anthony Park. Other relatives including Adrian Nurse, Dominic Park and Sherma Clement. Other friends and family including the Palmer family of Montparnassus, Marion Thornhill and family of Monjaloo, Christopher Theodore and the Theodore family of Monjaloo, Teresa Retted and family of Mardi Gras, the Park, Gatt, Bowen, Braffett and Maloney families, Carl David and the David family, the family of the late George of Lothers Lane, Norma Eastman in the USA, Cecile Cruikshank, Bernadette Robertson and family in the USA, Crispin Andrew and family, Leslie Austin, Lydia Francis, Maria Gibson, David Mark, Andy Greenwich, Dr. Laurie Frederick, Rona Young, Gillian John, the residents and staff of Spice Care Home, Jerry Pear and family of Windsor Forest, Jacqueline Blackman and family of Woburn, Greta Coutain, Chris and Charmaine Gill, the Lane family, Beryl Dubisset, Judith and Francine Ross, Gentle de Gale, and several nieces and nephews residing in Trinidad and the USA. A memorial service for the late Daphne Park of Monjaloo St. George will take place on Wednesday, March 15th at 1 p.m. at the St. George's Anglican Church, followed by interment of ashes at the Monjaloo Cemetery. In lieu of flowers, please make a donation to the Anglican Church Rebuilding Fund. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Dr. Fernanda Steele of Montparnasse St. George died on Thursday, 23rd February 2023, at the age of 85. Left to mourn are her husband, Dr. Russell Dunbar Steele, sister Brunella Fort, nephews Francesco and Roberto, many in-laws including Marilyn and Derek Steele, and Roland Mackenzie and family in Grenada. Many other relatives and friends including Austin Gittins and family in Antigua, Dr. Michelle Watson and family in Barbados, Ben and Lenny Gittins, Eric Johnson, Peter Fraser, Norris and Jackie Mitchell, Dean Pitt, Brian and Marion Samuel, Barbara Solomon, Clayton Steele, Marion Sweet and Louisa Zuki in Grenada, Professor Ronald Young and family, Mrs. Cecile Louis and family, Father Clifton Harris, Father Orville Shields and Surana Smith in Jamaica, Margot Auguste, Brian and Alyssa Gittins and family, Margaret Montplaisir and family in St. Lucia, Celestine Mitchell and family in St. Vincent, Sheila Workman and family in Trinidad, and relatives and close friends in Italy, other mourners and close friends throughout the Caribbean. The funeral of the late Dr. Fernanda Steele of Montparnassus St. George will take place on Wednesday, March 15th at 1:30 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Blessed Sacrament Church, Grandon St. George, followed by private interment. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Francis Thomas Bernard, also known as Cassie, of Mamacan, who resided at Grand Bacall at St. Andrew, passed away on Saturday, March 4th, 2023, at the age of 93. He was the father of Jocelyn, Louisa, Sandra, Winston, Testrail and Annalie in London, and Joyce in the USA, grandfather of 12, great-grandfather of 11, brother-in-law of Stephen Roberts, many cousins, other relatives and close friends including Neri Bartholomew, Nordica Noel, Angela Allard, Val and Dessa Mason, Anna Alexander, Daniel, Stella, Mary, Ivan, Nessie, Francis, Peter, Schoolboy, Julie, the Bernard family of Crowshoe, the Roberts family of Munich, members of the SVP, parishioners of St. Martin de Porres RC Church, and neighbours of Grand Bacallet and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Francis Thomas Bernard, also known as Cassie, of Mamacan, who resided at Grand Bacallet St. Andrew, will take place on Wednesday, March 15th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Martin de Porres Roman Catholic Church, Croixu, St. Andrew, and entombment will be at the Churchyard Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Bernadette Melina Collier, née Wilson, also known as Dedet, of Birchgrove, St. Andrew, passed away on Saturday, 11th February 2023, at the age of 80. She was the mother of Dominic John Wilson in the USA, Erlyn Wilson Cyrus, Gemma, Leslie Ann and Sharon Wilson, Sherman and Desmond Collier, stepmother of Janice Antoine Passé in Trinidad and Lucille Antoine in Grenada, sister of Adrian Wilson, grandmother of 24, including Rachel Wilson Pear in England, Nimron Wilson in Canada, Jason and Nicole Wilson in the USA, Terence, also known as brother, Aaron, also known as Baby Key, Kimani, Anissa and Alicia Wilson, Cornell Matthew, Naraya and Caden Collier. Great-grandmother of 13, mother-in-law of Brenda Wilson in the USA and Derek Scott Cyrus in Grenada. Aunt of many including Denise Whiteman, Jerome and Lorna Humphrey, Catherine Kate Edwards, Valerie Hulda Jeffrey, and Dennis Ferre, also known as Flint. Grand-aunt of many including Alan Odell Whiteman and Sadie Onadishi. Sister-in-law of Maureen Wilson and Rita Collier. Many relatives and friends including Evelyn Berkeley and Rose Telesford in the USA, Andrew Williams, Evelyn Jones, Jacqueline and Lassell Williams, Dr. Arthur Lee Renault, Maria Ferre and family, Verna Noel and family, Frida Peters and family, Debbie Belmar Marai and family, Lloydris Beggs and family, the staff of the Birchgrove Medical Station, the priest and parishioners of St. Matthew's RC, the Wilson, Ferre and Collier families, and friends and neighbours of Providence, Beauregard and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Bernadette Melina Collier, also known as Dedet, of Birchgrove, St. Andrew, will take place on Thursday, March 16th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Matthew's RC Church, Birchgrove, and interment will be at the St. Rose Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Ottilia Daphne Blackman, also known as Mammy Otil and Otto, of Vincent St. David, passed away on Wednesday, 15 February 2023, at the age of 95. She was the mother of Gemma, Jeanette and Michael in Grenada, Reverend John Blackman, Hyacinth, Dale and Gracelyn in the USA and Carl in Canada. Grandmother of 32 including Raquel, Giselle, Shauna, Petra, Danielle, Kimmy, Arlena, Crystal and Gary. Many great and great-great-grandchildren. Sister of Bernadine Lett in the UK and Augustine Greenwich in Grenada. Mother-in-law of Hulda, Alma and Valda. Aunt of many including Cecil Lett, teacher Irva, Vadlin, Christine, Stephanie, Kennedy and Sonia Raymond. Godmother of Michael Filbert, Stephanie Hazard and Elma Purcell. Many relatives and close friends in Grenada, the USA, the UK, Canada and Trinidad, including the Blackman family, the Gabriel family of Padmatar, the McMeo family of Minorca, the Lett, Filbert and Purcell families of Dudmar, Syracuse and Vincennes, Cousin Jean and family, Mrs. Maggie and family, Lena Gray and family, Narissa, Dawn Lett, the management and residents of 725 Evergreen Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, and Friends of Truth and Light Ministries, and friends and neighbors of Vincennes and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Ottilia Daphne Blackman, also known as Mammy Otil and Otto, of Vincent St. David, will take place on Thursday, 16th March at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Teresa's Catholic Church, Vincent St. David, and interment will be at the Windsor Forest Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Joan Geraldine Bonaparte, formerly of Grosse Pointe St. John and St. John Street, St. George's, who resided at Archibald Avenue, St. George, a retired teacher of the St. George's Anglican Junior School, died on Thursday, March 2nd, 2023, at the age of 83. Left to mourn are her husband Basil V. Bonaparte, 6 sons Joseph, Justin, Jerome, Julian, Jeffrey and Joachim, brothers George Frederick and family, Christopher Benjamin and family, Michael Benjamin and Curtis Benjamin, sisters Dorothy Purcell and family, and Gemma Purcell and family, cousins Lena and family, Sandra and family, relatives of Grosse Pointe, Patricia Frederick in Canada, her siblings and their families, nephews Marius Frederick and family, Cecil Cherubin and family, and George Cherubin and family, grandchildren Gabriella and Joshua, daughters-in-law Loanne, Sherry-Ann, and Kathy-Ann, other in-laws including cousins-in-law Ethelyn Thomas and family, Christy Mitchell and siblings, Agnes Noel and family, Maria Noel and family, Gladlyn Williams and family, Dennis Williams in New York, his family and siblings, the Hollis family in Grenada, Boston, and Canada, and Neela Lewis and family. Many close friends of the family, including Nisha Alexander and family, friends and acquaintances of Prospect, Mount Alexander, St. Mark, and St. George's, and friends and acquaintances in Trinidad, Canada, the USA, and the United Kingdom, members of the Legion of Mary, the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, Engaged Encounter, and Presentation Brothers Associates, and fellow teachers of the St. George's Anglican Junior and Senior Schools. The funeral service for the late Joan Geraldine Bonaparte, formerly of Grosse Pointe St. John and St. John Street St. George's, who resided at Archibald Avenue St. George's, will take place on Thursday, March 16th at 10 a.m. at the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception St. George's. Tributes begin at 9:30 a.m. Interment will be at Prospect St. Patrick. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Asher McIntyre of Mount Hartman, Grand Isle, St. George, died on Monday, 6th March 2023, at the age of 32. The funeral arrangements for the late Asher McIntyre of Mount Hartman, Grand Isle, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Joan St. Bernard of Woodland, St. George, passed away on Monday, 6th March 2023, at the age of 74. The funeral arrangements for the late Joan St. Bernard of Woodland, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Anne Monica Francis, also known as Tanti Anne of Laurelland, St. David, passed away on Friday, 10th March 2023, at the age of 65. The funeral arrangements for the late Anne Monica Francis, also known as Tanti Anne, of Laurelland, St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Alistair Gordon Fortune, also known as David Fortune of Park Lane, St. George's, died on Wednesday, March 8th, 2023, at the age of 69. The funeral arrangements for the late Alistair Gordon Fortune, also known as David Fortune of Park Lane, St. George's, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Errol Bruno, also known as Sodas of St. Paul, St. George, passed away on Wednesday, 8th March 2023, at the age of 72. The funeral arrangements for the late Errol Bruno, also known as Sodas, of St. Paul, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Anthony McQueen, also known as Hillard Chambers, of Grandroy, who resided at Upper Depredine Street, Grove, St. John, passed away on Sunday, 5th March 2023, at the age of 83. The funeral arrangements for the late Anthony McQueen, also known as Hillard Chambers, of Grandroy, who resided at Upper Depredine Street, Grove, St. John, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Rita Alexander, also known as Auntie Rita of Munich St. Andrew, who resided at Laborie St. George, passed away on Sunday, 26th February, at the age of 92. The funeral arrangement for the late Rita Alexander, also known as Auntie Rita of Munich St. Andrew, who resided at Laborie St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Anthony Benedict Etienne, also known as Cess and Tony, of Lassages St. David, Passed away on Saturday, 18 February 2023, at the age of 61. The funeral arrangements for the late Anthony Benedict Etienne, also known as Cess and Tony, of Lassager St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on. Thank you for watching.
I am Godwill James, an MD and a member of Gateway Assembly. Medically, death is regarded as an end or a cessation of life. Different groups view death in different perspectives. While some regard death as a continuation of life, others view it as an infeeble form of life. As a Christian, we may want to view death as a separation of the soul from the body. So, whichever way one may view death, I want to say that may the gentle soul of the faithful departed rest in the bosom of the Lord. Amen.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCour Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final